We're honored that you have chosen to spend this evening tonight with us at LAYC's largest fundraising event, and from all early indications, it's going to be the most successful one we've ever had. You're helping to contribute to the organization's ongoing mission that supports academic achievement, promotes healthy behavior by young people both in the district and Maryland and everywhere we can find them, and guide youth towards successful adulthood, and that's an outcome that we track and we really want for all the kids.
I have the proud honor of introducing the Deputy Mayor of Education, Deshaun Wright.
Thank you to the LAYC Board, Staff Executive Director Lori Kaplan for inviting me to participate in this amazing celebration of our young people and the groundbreaking accomplishments of the Latin American youth. For so many years continues to be the leading innovators of programs and services to support our older, disconnected youth. And LAYC has stayed the course when encountering bumps along the way, because they believe that all of our kids deserve a second, and yes, sometimes a third and a fourth chance to rebound and succeed. With the dedication of institutions like LAYC and initiatives such as its new Career Academy, which will offer a college preparatory GED Plus program, DC is poised to achieve our strategic goals of reconnecting many more of our young people to school and to work. With my office seeking to reconnect 3,000 district youth between the ages of 16 to 24 to school and or work by the year 2014, I am committed to supporting LAYC in their effort to get their Career Academy up and running, and to working closely with them to determine how we can highlight and scale similar local evidence-based models here in this city that are demonstrating a strong track record of success. As an educator, a mentor, and a caregiver of my own two godsons, I know firsthand the struggles that far too many of our youth experience. Yet still, I'm in awe that so many of them, in the face of such extreme adversity, fight to hold on to their education, their future, and their place in this world. When we look back at our collective efforts years from now, let it be said that we refused to let any of our children fail, and that we did everything within our power to ensure that they reach their fullest potential. Thank you to LAYC. Have a great evening, and I wish you all the best for a prosperous year.
It's great to see so many people who are out this evening to be able to support the Latin American Youth Center, and I want to congratulate you first of all for having as an honored guest earlier our Deputy Mayor, Deshaun Wright, who is doing a great job helping us to bridge all the various interests in education in the city. And I want to also congratulate Rick England for and if you don't mind, I will also mention his parents. Lois mentioned them.
I knew this day was coming for many months, yet I am still excited that the staff and board of the Latin American Youth Center has chosen to honor me for my board work and volunteer work for this organization. I want to thank all of my friends and family for coming here tonight. In particular, thanks to my lovely wife Diana here, and my kids Sandy and Justine. I've also had my parents, I have my parents here, Lois and Richard, you heard about earlier, also from the mayor, mentioning them. What great role models. For those of you who don't know, just amazing people for what they've done in the Washington, D.C. community, and supporting this organization in particular. So why have I given so much of my time, effort, and money to the Latin American Youth Center? I studied Spanish in high school, but I really had the chance to use the language several years later. Between my sophomore and junior years of college, I traveled around South and Central America with some friends of mine who had just gotten out of the Peace Corps in Bolivia. We traveled not by first or second class, more like fifth class, on buses that doubled as the milk run and you know, move the mail, and there were people movers too, with no bathrooms on the bus, and what did you do then? Pretty basic stuff. We went to some towns and places off the beaten path. Not your typical touristy big city. I got a chance to meet people who were living in worse poverty than I had ever seen in the United States. I vowed that one day I would try to help these people improve their lives if I ever got the chance, even if it was only the immigrants to the US who came from those countries. Fast forward to the early 1990s. I contacted the LAYC because I wanted to do volunteer work with a nonprofit organization that worked in the Hispanic community. I thought I could practice my rusty high school Spanish and do something positive for the young people of Washington. I volunteered in a program that helped prepare youths for a start in the job market. We did mock interviews, helped prepare resumes, taught kids how to use Microsoft Word and Excel, and helped kids get good starts to their careers. A few years later, I joined the board of the Youth Center, thanks to the charm and persuasiveness of Lori Kaplan. Our budget was around $2 million back then. Little did I know that the LAYC would grow into one of the most impactful organizations in the Washington, D.C. community, serving over 4,000 young people annually and touching the lives of countless others. Tonight, I would like to highlight one young person who is a product of the LAYC and has made a tremendous success out of her life. Her name is Lupe Quinteros. Lupe, are you here? Can you stand up for everybody? I think she was here earlier. I got to know Lupe because she started working at the LAYC full-time about the same time that I began work on the board. Lupe is from El Salvador and saw the effects of the Civil War in that country firsthand in the 1980s. As a young girl, she realized that seeing dead bodies in the street was frightening and did not provide her with a good future. Her parents took a chance when they came to the United States with Lupe, not knowing anyone, not speaking the language, and not being sure if they could even make a living. The family settled in Washington, and Lupe attended D.C. public schools. She quickly learned English. Her first involvement with the Youth Center was working as a health promoter at La Clínica del Pueblo, a medical clinic located near the Youth Center in Washington. Using her public speaking skills, she informed peers and friends about health topics such as substance abuse, nutrition, and sexually transmitted diseases. Lupe went on to have several jobs connected to the center, all the while continuing her education. She graduated from Goucher College in Baltimore and briefly thought about going to law school. I'm glad she didn't. But she returned to the Youth Center, working to coordinate youth employment in the mid-90s, which was when I first met her. She worked during the days and at night studied and received a master's degree in curriculum and special education from George Washington University. She has been with us ever since, now working as the deputy of the Maryland Division of the Youth Center. She has oversight of all of our programs in Maryland. Lupe's story is a remarkable one, because through her own hard work and persistence, and the help of the staff at the Youth Center, she has become a true leader as an adult. Her story is why I believe in this amazing nonprofit.
Thank you very much. And give a record those that can. Thank you. I want to thank my friend and brother, one of the ablest leaders of our country, who means so much to all of us. Give the mayor a big hand. Mr. Mayor, big hand. I'm anxious to stop by just to say hello, because there's such an opportunity we have as Americans to take the rejected stones and make of them cornerstones. That's what makes the American dream so great, because it is so full of possibility and so full of hope. And you, for these many years, have been providing that hope and breaking down those barriers. One of our passions is to get young African Americans to learn to speak Spanish, and young Latinos to learn to speak English. because we're neighbors and friends and classmates. We'll be that the rest of our life. We've learned to survive apart. Now we must learn to live together. And a more difficult lesson, but a more rewarding one, learning to live together. Brother Buford, I want to congratulate you. I want, as I said to the mayor, I want all of our high school seniors to feel enfranchised. Whenever young America comes together and moves beyond the limits of race and gender and culture, we do some awesome things. Every high school senior who's 18 now, and will be 18 by November, should come across the stage with a diploma in one hand and a voter card in the other. Why, I asked a group of students in Pasadena, California a few days ago, if you were in the courtroom in Trayvon Martin's court, what would you do? So I would vote for Trayvon. I said, not unless you're a registered voter. Only the voters can serve as jurors. So why should our children learn to vote? Vote for lower tuition. Vote for student loan debt forgiveness. Vote to be a juror. Vote to be an American at its best. And so there's so much we can do. And one thing about our country, we're not always right, Rick. We have the right to fight for the right, and that's what makes America great. We have the right to fight for the right without resorting to terrorism to make our point. So again, for the winners tonight, congratulations and keep hope alive.
Thank you.